Hello, it's me, and we're back with another episode of I Have This Thing. And today, we're going to be talking about the Streamlight Survivor series of flashlights. Full disclosure, I am not being paid by Streamlight. This isn't a sponsored video. I am just talking about this thing that I have that I really like. So the Streamlight Survivor series of flashlights are firefighter flashlights, or flashlights for someone that just wants a very rugged, reliable flashlight that's capable of taking a beating and continuing to produce light uninterrupted. They make this guy in 3 different colors. They make him in this red color, and then yellow, wow, and black. Go over the little features really quick. It has a very low profile bezel, as you can see there. Nice big button on the top for the different modes of operation. You have a little D-ring on the back for attaching to bunker gear, or anywhere else that you would need to attach a D-ring to. You have this little belt clip, which can also be attached to those. And then this key down here is used to release the door and access the battery pack, which they do make two different battery packs for this. This one is the one that takes AA batteries. It takes 4 of them. It just kind of hinges apart. Drop that guy in there. Make sure that the polarity key lines up with that little tab. And there you go. It also has all the different ratings on the back of it. This flashlight is rated for use in explosive atmospheres or any type of atmosphere where you have to worry about it igniting. And it is also IPX4 water resistant and 2-meter impact tested. Yeah. Okay, so let's go over the different light settings that the flashlight has. There will potentially be some flashing lights here. So, just a little warning on that one. You have a 175 lumen high beam, which is 41,000 candela. You have a 60 lumen low beam, which I don't think you can really tell the difference between those two. It's kind of hard for the camera to pick up. The 60 lumen low beam is 41,000 candela. You also have a blinking mode, which I'm just going to cover that up so it's not too bright. And then you also have a moonbeam mode. I think the moonbeam mode is super fun. It's really not it's not too terribly bright. Kind of a neat little feature that it has that on there. 175 lumen mode will run for 4 hours total. The 60 lumen mode will run for 15 hours total. Blinking mode will last for 8 hours, and moonbeam will last for get ready for this. Moonbeam lasts for 20 days, which is just absolutely absurd that it lasts that long. Basically, if you're in a situation where you just need a light that lasts 20 days, I mean, it's very low lumen output. I don't even know what the lumen output is. Honestly, I think it's probably something like 1. It's a very low lumen and candela output. And I did throw out 2 numbers there. Well, actually, hang on just a second. As you can see right now, if you look at it, you can see that it's kind of glowing on the inside. One of the modifications I did to this light is I took the bezel off and I took the lens out of the inside and put some glow-in-the-dark tape on the inside of it so that the flashlight glows after you turn it on and then turn it off, which is kind of a neat way to just locate it. And you might also notice that little yellow plug in the center. The Streamlight Survivor comes with 2 different plugs. You've got this little black plug and the little yellow plug. And those are basically used just to focus the beam and make the beam a little bit more tight. Not that it really needs a whole lot of focusing, but they're just to kind of focus it up a little bit more. Hey, you can see that glowing pretty well now. So the black one is very little spill from the beam coming out of it. The yellow plug makes the spill amber colored so that it doesn't strain your eyes as badly. And then no plug in the center is just kind of standard. One of the things that this light is really, really good at is penetrating photonic barriers. And that comes down to what I said before about the 2 different numbers that I threw out there. It's really good at penetrating photonic barriers like windows and fog and smoke, things that you would want a firefighter flashlight to be able to do. It's very good at throwing light through those barriers and still being able to see into your room. I don't know if you've ever tried to use a flashlight in a really foggy area. It just ends up lighting all the fog in front of you. That's why fog lights are at the bottom of the car, because then you're still throwing light out there. It's just under where all the fog is. So having a flashlight that's capable of throwing a very tight beam and with a really high candela is very good for penetrating those photonic barriers. To give you a really, really quick synopsis on the difference between candela and lumens, one candela is effectively one candle burning. Lumens are how much light the thing is emitting, and candelas are the visible intensity of that light. So, for example, even though this is a very low lumen output, it has a very high candela, meaning that it's capable of penetrating photonic barriers, throwing a beam a long distance. For example, this thing on high power will throw a beam 405 meters. On low power, it'll throw a beam 237 meters. And that's before it has to go through any type of photonic barrier. Hey, my Surefire is attacking my Streamlight because it doesn't like it. This Surefire Stiletto Pro has a 1000 lumen output. It could be a really bright light here for a second. There you go. Has a 1000 lumen output, but its candela is only 5100 as opposed to the 41,000 candela of the Streamlight Survivor. So even you can have a really high lumen output, because this is a 1000 lumen flashlight. You can have a really high lumen output, but a really low candela. That's one of the things that people get like confused about, or they don't necessarily understand, is that if you want to throw a beam really far, the things that you need are a long bezel, which despite the fact that this has like the low profile one, the bezel actually starts all the way back there. It's a good almost like 2 inches long. The bezel on the Surefire is, by comparison, quite short. I mean, the bulb is like right about here on the Surefire. So you have like maybe a half inch long bezel, and you'll notice that it's substantially smaller too by comparison. Yeah, so capable of throwing a beam really far. I have illuminated things over 100 yards away with this flashlight. It's really good at doing that. Very impact resistant, very durable. It's just, honestly, it's a really good flashlight in general. I'm a big fan of it. I think it works great. Like, just a really cool flashlight in general. I think, actually, I think this is the flashlight that Ellie has strapped to her backpack in one of the Last of Us games. I can't remember which one it is, but it's basically this flashlight just in black. Yeah, really cool little flashlight. I think it works incredibly well, and that's about it. So I will see you guys in the next video.